Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to another action-packed week of SJU. Today, we're not here to start any trouble. We're here to play the director shuffle because Fantastic Four and X-Fast and Fast X are both swapping directors midstream, which I'm told you're never supposed to do. Hey, Eric. Hey, Danielle. How's it going?
We're good. Thank you.
So nice to see your faces once again in a Zoom rectangle. But at least Danielle, big news. Tomorrow we're going to shoot in the new studio. Is it true? Is it real? We'll see.
I'll find out when I pay my Uber. That's what we'll know. We'll know when I pay the Uber.
Please expense that. Very exciting stuff. Behind the scenes, Ryan is working tirelessly to bring you a new Fandom studio experience.
Don't give me too much credit. I'm working.
He's been working on this day and night for 2 years, people. Ever since the pandemic, he's been living there. He's been working there. It's a cathedral to modern pop culture nerdery, and we're going to do it proud.
He's the Kid Cudi of SJU.
I will say the snack game has stepped up a lot in the new office as a whole. It's we got whole cabinets. So
it used to be whatever Pac-Man would dump in a wicker basket.
Yes. Like we were prisoners. He would slide it under our doors.
He just thought better of us than we thought of ourselves. We could always be like, would you like some unsalted protein?
I do want to talk more about him and his snack game and his weird protein plates, but we're going to talk first about Fantastic Four, which is a movie on the horizon that's it's confirmed. They showed the logo and everything, but we haven't really seen a frame of it yet, have we?
Just that logo.
No casting. Just that nice sweet number 4. So we have confirmation that there will be 4 of them. So they're not adding or subtracting members.
Exclusive.
And we knew that John Watts of Spider-Man and others was behind the camera. And yet there's been a amicable split, a conscious uncoupling, if you will. Do we have the actual statement? Because it sounds like they're all being really nice to each other. But regardless, it doesn't seem like they got.
It was kind of so whatever. It was kind of just so whatever. I didn't put it in, but I can grab it.
For what it's worth, because sometimes you see these upbeat statements and then later it turns out, oh, it was terrible. But this feels pretty genuine as far as him being like, you know what? I want to step away from some superhero stuff for a little bit. And then being like, cool, come back when you're ready. We're here. And I think the main thing here is, as we're going to talk about another movie that is way more in turmoil, at least this is happening way early. It's happening even before they've announced any casting,
Yeah. Well, before they've announced it, I'm sure they've got
there's some talks, I'm sure.
They've got their people at this point. Interesting though. And that's so weird though, that he would want to walk away. He's such a company man in my book. He's just he immediately hopped out of the indie lane and into the Spider-Man universe, full throttle, made 3 Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. What would he leave the Fantastic Four to do? Why would he ever do this?
Honestly, I wonder if it's just one of those things where he's like, look, I just gave y'all everything. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do something small and then I'm going to come back. I'm wondering if that's kind of.
He is directing a thriller for Apple starring 2 guys named George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Who?
That was announced last fall. And here's what and a friend of mine suggested this first, and then I kind of agreed with him. Spider-Man might have more to do with this than they're saying, in that they haven't announced another Spider-Man movie, but we know they want to do it, and we know they're just trying to get Tom Holland to sign to his new deal for $1 kajillion. I feel like it might have been a crazy schedule where they're like, okay, you're going to do Fantastic Four, and then you go right into the next Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
And he's like, you know what? I know you want me the Spider-Man movie. Obviously, maybe I won't do Fantastic Four. That is what I think might have been the situation.
That's my guess too, is that he's like, okay, because they know that they have him, Tom Holland, for 3 more. Who knows what that's going to wind up being? If that's 1 more independent, or if that's a couple more appearances, or what the combination is. Who knows what's going to be? But yeah, if I'm John Watts right now, I'm like, hey, I just want to make something in person.
Not in a green screen.
I would like to be in front of a building and just take a breather and not have to deal with all of this, because I know very soon I'm going to be back in the Marvel mold. So maybe just give me a second, or Sony or whatever that winds up.
That does make sense that he's waiting to catch the webbing of the next Spider-Man movie. That actually tracks a lot. So regardless, we now have a family adrift without a leader. who is going to step behind that megaphone and yell action when John Krasinski says, "Hello, I'm Mr. Fantastic." Who's going to direct this thing, or who would you like to see direct this thing, Eric?
I mean, I'll go with it's a cliche at this point, but I do wonder: is this finally Peyton Reed's shot? So Peyton Reed, if people don't know the background here, he directed the Ant-Man movies, but he was supposed to direct the Fantastic Four for 20th Century Fox like 15 years ago. It was going to be a period piece set in the 1960s. This is right around the time he did Down with Love. And it sounded really fun. His take on it didn't end up happening. He did the Ant-Man movies instead. But when they announced the MCU was doing Fantastic Four, some people were like, you didn't give it to Peyton Reed. They're about to have the third Ant-Man movie. I don't see them being as gung-ho about making a fourth Ant-Man movie, even though I think those characters will continue. So maybe the timing works out here. I don't know, right? Maybe it's like, hey, Peyton, you've wanted to do Fantastic Four for a while. I don't know. I still like I want to see that 1960s setting thing, and they could retcon whatever they want. They were around in the 60s. They went through a portal. Now they're back. There you go. Fantastic.
Done.
You're the quantum universe.
Right.
Easy peas. Easy.
Danielle,
pins.
who you got coming up next?
And I mean, again, we don't know about the casting. I know Krasinski is like an online favorite. We've heard like some rumors. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think I'm only bored with it because we've heard him said so often without actually knowing anything about whether or not he would be doing it or what that would look like. But I will say, if I was him, I might be tempted to be like, can I also direct? I did those places that were quiet.
Yeah.
Those silent nights.
And he's done pretty well by successful with those movies.
Yeah, so maybe I do both. If I'm him, I mean, I think if you're him, you at least put it on the table, even if
that's putting a lot of pressure on your shoulders, because I mean the
he's
Quiet
got
Places,
office money, he's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So he's
he can
not
walk
doing
away
it for
at any
the cash.
time. Yeah, if he's doing it, he's doing it for the passion.
I've got Emily Blunt. I've got office money. I've got it going on.
Yeah,
really
I mean but he has he's universally beloved, and I mean there's a long list of battered directors who tried to do Fantastic Four and it kind of flopped, right? So I don't know. I think that they personally, again, not the most creative choices, but this is too important for Marvel to risk this on their usual pluck an indie director out of obscurity and give them a giant comic book movie. I think you have to go back, as Z Smooth says, how about Brad Bird? The Incredibles are the closest thing we have to a Fantastic Four movie. That's a no-brainer. And the other one is just like, all right, Favreau, you're up again. You did Iron Man, like you got this whole start. This is like a passing of the baton, like another phase that you have to kick off. Like, just make us another $1 billion movie, please. I think it's got to be one of those two. I really don't think they can do their usual, as interesting as I think it would be. I don't think they can do their usual find somebody ready to add a zero to their paycheck after an indie hit.
I think Favreau would be interesting, except that he's so up to his neck in Star Wars for Disney Plus that I don't know if they could, have it. They can get him to shoot a couple Happy Hogan scenes, but I don't know about filming the whole movie. But Brad Bird is a cool. I mean, look, as much as it's on the nose, it's like everyone said, because it's true, The Incredibles is the best Fantastic Four movie, just not about Fantastic Four. And the other thing about Brad Bird is he directed Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which is freaking awesome. Now, he also directed Tomorrowland, which wasn't.
I was going to say, he directed Tomorrowland, which made a really cool trailer. But look, I mean, Ghost Protocol, as far as a guy from animation showing what he could do in live action, awesome. And kind of still had that sort of fun, quote unquote, cartoony vibe, with that video screen they walked down the hallway with Simon Pegg and Tom Cruise at one point. So I would actually be pretty excited. Sometimes the obvious choices are the right choices. Yeah. So I wouldn't be against in the chat, signing off, Imner Films says, Everything Everywhere All at Once directors, the Daniels. How dare you? Don't let them do their thing. Don't put them into the Marvel blob quite yet. I want to see more movies out of them where they get to have the corpses fart their way across the ocean. Not hey, it's me, Quip Man.
Have them do a couple of episodes of a Disney Plus show.
Give them what if
to have funsies, and then
they turned down Loki, the Daniels, and someone on Twitter said to me, "Do you think they do Fantastic Four?" I said, "I don't think it's impossible to do a Marvel thing one day, but if they did, I think it wouldn't be something that's already been in development for a while. I think it would have to be and it probably wouldn't be Fantastic Four; it'd be a weird character, right? You can do whatever you want with." I don't know. I can't think of obscure Marvel characters at the moment. I'm Mad
Suicide Squad level of
D-Man.
the polka
Yeah,
dot
just
man, the-
pull out someone random and Daniel's
Or
go to town. Yeah.
weird X-Men stuff, which was kind of what I've been thinking.
Weird,
because
dude.
like,
Yeah.
Ecstatic. There you go.
That'd be awesome.
we've got time. After a while, we're gonna get everything X. Y'all don't remember what the 90s was like. No one read anything else. Marvel was basically the
Yeah.
X-Men company.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, that was so late. And they tried to like Liefeld it up and give everyone like the chest that went out to here and the pouches and stuff. Yeah.
Just
Xenoar
for
says,
everyone.
suggests Lord and Miller for Fantastic Four. That's an interesting choice. I mean, I don't want them to deconstruct it. I think this Fantastic Four needs like an earnestness to me of like family, like the second movie we're going to be talking about today. You know, like a real just your heart's on your sleeve. Like a retro futurism that we can all put on our nostalgia goggles and get behind, which somebody else suggested. Oh, Xenoar also said, who should direct Fantastic Four? Justin Lin, baby. He's free.
Yeah.
He's free. He's ready to go.
He's
Maybe?
he's familiar with FF in a title. Lord and Miller, of course, is always fun, but I feel like as much as like obviously Feige had nothing to do with this situation, but they got so burned on Solo. Like they get to do Spider-Verse and it's like, hey, it's Spider-Man. It's the most famous character ever, but you can do your own thing with it versus like you're part 30 or 32 of the MCU. And even if they got along great with Feige, I think they'd probably be a little gun shy of something that immersed in someone else's stuff, you know?
Also, and sometimes you do have to take the business stuff. They were given crap tons of money from everyone, from Sony, from Netflix.
They have Sony and Universal. They have giant mega deals with right
they have mega deals. And I'm like, money that none of us, no one you have ever met nor will ever meet, all of them combined will make in a lifetime. Like they have mega deals with all of these companies. So it is one of those things where it's like, if they give it to them, it's got to be, you got to let us do what we want to do this time because they have enough money to be like, well, we don't need the hassle.
Yeah. I just want to talk. I think that's keep your suggestions coming in the chat. I think that's we've covered all the bases really. But if there's some outside the box picks, let us know because I want to talk about man we just mentioned Justin Lin and the Fast X franchise. So yeah, that happened. He has left let's listen to his hostage video first. Play it from the top.
But right before he quit.
This is right before he quit.
Week 1. Just finished week 1.
How does it feel?
Feels like the beginning of an epic ending.
Is it fair to say that this will be the best one?
In my heart, yes.
Oh!
This feels like one of those videos where it's like two parents are getting divorced and they're taping the kid and it's like, well, I'm your favorite parent, right? And it's like, yeah.
It does have, we were mentioning it as the vibe of a hostage video, which is Vin Diesel's move. That's his way out of controversy, as we remember from the Michelle Rodriguez video, when she had some comments saying that like maybe girls don't get enough shine in the Fast franchise. A few days later, there he was, selfie mode, yucking it up on camera in front of his like 40 million followers. So it didn't work this time though, or it only
because
staved
about
off.
3 days after that video, that man quit that movie.
And he's made a bunch of these, man. He's dealt with Vin for so long. What about this finally made him snap? Do we think? Why is he leaving now? Who can say?
I don't know. I'm not in the room.
Who
But
can guess?
I can speculate.
Yeah.
And in my speculation, again, purely speculation. Yeah, he's been doing this for 1 million years, and this is the last one. And we all have heard, or at least have been told by like sources and behind the scene people that like Vin is like, this is his baby. He's all in. Like he tries to control it as tightly as he can, is what people have said. And so I think you get to a point where you're like, there's like 2 more of these left. I think I'm done. I think it's okay if I just like let go and let God, and maybe and sometimes that's for the best. You don't want to stick around for the kids. Those relationships are never good. Go with God.
Go be
if like
free.
that's where you're, if you don't
Yeah.
want to be there.
It's I mean, it is interesting because he did so many of these movies and you felt like he had navigated Vin, and then a week into doing this one, he's like, I can't. So clearly, I'm very excited for the eventual like full expose that THR, Variety, or Deadline is going to do, because there was an article in like one of the tabloids, like New York Daily News or something, that was all very like cursory, because it was like, well, Vin was coming to set late and all this stuff, which is basically parroting stuff that Dwayne Johnson had insinuated. It's got to be more than that, right? It just has to be like a level where he felt like, I can't direct this movie because someone else is trying to do so much of like my job, basically.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to do the Dwayne Johnson insinuation. Our Screen Junkies interactions with Mark Vincent Diesel also went similarly when he was 4 hours late to the junket interview. And when he arrived, he had an assistant playing a personal soundtrack on a Beats pill. Like,
yes, I'm back in, Vin.
Ooh, that's dope.
So there you go. That's if Justin Lin had to deal with that every day. I think after, I don't know, 3-4 movies, be like, life's too short. I got to do something else. So
My heart, yes.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, yeah. So we've now some lucky fella has taken on his chair. Louis
He's French, right? So it's probably Louis. I'm guessing
Louis Leterrier of the first two Transporter films. And Le Hulk Incredible, the Incredible Hulk. So okay, which one was the Incredible Hulk? That's not the Ang Lee one, obviously.
That was with here's the funny thing, that was with an actor who likes to control his movies, Edward Norton. I thought about that. I thought,
wow,
Universal called
Also,
the
yep,
guy
another Universal
they
product.
worked with on a franchise movie who had a star who was like, I'm gonna run the show, and said, let's do it again.
that's perfect. Oh my God, he's the perfect fit. The first question is he the right man to guide things? Yes, I think if you could deal with Edward Norton rewriting the script as you're filming, you can deal with Vin Diesel like designing new car chases with his Matchbox cars, you know, while you're trying to direct a scene.
Yeah, I thought this was actually kind of a perfect fit in for what they need, which is someone to jump into a movie that's already filming. They're still filming second unit with these big stars.
Nice.
Someone has to come in. So it wasn't going to be like a tour who, because you can't plan anything. You just have to jump in. It has to be a guy who can shoot, who has experience on a big set and, you know, can film an action scene. He doesn't have that much of an individual style. I was like, this is kind of the right choice for
kind of
this.
perfect. Yeah. And Statham's going to be in this one. I assume like, you know, Hobbs ain't showing up, but Shaw, I
figured Louis had to call Jason to be like, what am I getting into here?
Hobbs is busy. He's at a barbecue. He can't make it to the mission.
Yes, he ate 20 chickens before noon. Like we've seen his diet. He has to eat.
One of his chickens went bad. He's gonna sleep it off. He can't be here. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm in. I think this is actually a perfect pick.
Yeah.
And because I guess even if he's just shadow directing for Vin Diesel, which is I think what we all want to see, is if he like is so precious about this. All right, Vin, you're up. Get behind the camera. Give yourself the 8-minute long soliloquies that your character needs. Danielle, what do you think? Is this the right choice, or should they have gone somewhere outside the box?
I think it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm sorry, like that's like such a horrible like me not playing the game by not playing the game thing, but it's just like I don't think it like look, we're all gonna see it, and what's the worst that anyone could do to this franchise at this point?
Well, that's the thing. I wonder though if Justin Lin was like giving a absolutely Herculean effort just to deliver what we saw, and that without his steady hand,
I still want to see it.
I know. I think that this could be a meltdown, unseen since Tokyo Drift. Although I know it has its defenders, but whatever.
Okay, so my thought of like the worst way that someone could mess these films up if given the opportunity. I want like Letty is being held hostage and being held down and waterboarded in a pool of Corona. And then you have
the beer, not the
wait, this is the worst or the best version?
This is what I'm saying. And then you have Van Riesel, who has to then Scrooge McDuck his way through a bunch of Corona, the beer bottle caps, like in order to get to her. He comes up in the air and like spits out the bottle caps, and they make those like Looney Tunes like doop 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 noises. Before they look at each other and pretend like they have sexual chemistry. And like I think that's like the worst. It's either that or just a bunch of dudes sitting around eating tuna fish sandwiches for like however. And like we could go back to the first one if we want that.
Go back to the tuna fish sandwiches and the DVD players, the roots of the franchise.
He probably did see that people want to do time travel in this installment, and probably just told Justin Lin, like, you gotta time travel in this one. It's like, we've been prepping this for years. You can't just throw time travel in the middle of it. No. My fans want it.
Fans want it. It's in.
You gotta do it. He's like, I quit. I can't. I can only imagine it being something like last minute huge story changes, because he's been difficult for many movies now. It can only be something like, I can't accommodate this note you're giving me right now.
I mean, even people were saying, if you read between the lines, even on, because I think Justin Lin did co-write this movie, right? Or at least story about, and it's like, Vin had just done a post like a week or two before about how Mia wasn't in the script for this and how that was not acceptable for him. And I'm sure she was going to come back in the 11th for the grand finale, but they're like, oh, we have too many characters. Let's put her on the side. And they say, no, we have to awkwardly have her come back, but not have her husband come back. Figure it out.
And still back at home with the kids.
I'm sure there's a lot of
maybe some of those things could be solved on set before you have to take it to like Instagram. Maybe
they got a Hawkeye or do it where like she's gone for the whole 10th one, and then the 11th one opens with her finding out what happened in the 10th one. That's
as part of the cavalry. I agree. She comes in with all of her bad tuna fish sandwiches and the back of Brian's head, because he can't come in. So you just see like his, the back of the head. And then, I think that you're absolutely right. Yep.
I would love to see an Avengers style portal open up and just a bunch of tuna fish sandwiches somehow waddle out because they went to a multiverse where.
I keep making that reference, but no one has actually seen the first one.
That's a classic.
No, come on.
Yeah,
he only comes around because of those tuna fish sandwiches. Come on.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. I guess we ostensibly have one other real story to talk about. And keep the questions coming that you might have in the chat. Jamil Robinson says, why is anyone insulting Tokyo Drift, which is one of the best of the series? All right, fine. It's good. It has the most racing in it. It's just that guy, that dude is such like a lug nut. He just is such a downgrade from Dom and Brian that I don't think it could quite recover. Bow Wow,
but
you are no Tyrese. Bow Wow.
Sean.
What's that?
You loved him in the last one. Yeah, Sean. Come on.
Yeah, they did. They took it to a fun place, but yeah, wow, what a downgrade for me. But I think otherwise still cool. The Arrowverse dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fans of the Arrowverse. It looks like it's going that direction. HBO has been sold again, or Warner Brothers has been sold to Discovery, and it seems like as part of that, they're trying to do a little house cleaning. So Legends of Tomorrow, which is a bummer because that was fun, and Batwoman, which I hear had its moments, were both canceled on Friday. Batwoman had 3 seasons. Legends had 7. That's kind of lame that they didn't get it seems like they didn't get a chance to kind of prep for this. It was a bit of a surprise. But any serious tears being cried, Eric or Danielle?
I mean, I used to watch all the Arrowverse shows. I did not anymore, even though I still really liked Legends and I like Superman and Lois. There's just too much TV, guys. It sucks about, especially Legends, when you go 7 seasons and you don't get a real finale. And it's also very notable that it happened because CW used to give everything closure. iZombie, The 100, Nikita, they'd announce a final season. And sometimes it'd be a short one, but they'd get it. But CW, is like up for sale. We know that. So Warner Brothers won't even co-own them anymore, which was like a big reason that network even existed, was basically to create these shows that they would, have the afterlife of. So it kind of seems like it's a victim of that, but it really is a bummer because it's very unusual for this network. And then it just sucks because one day if you're watching, and what I heard is Batwoman kind of had closure, like it wrapped up its stories for the season. But I know Legends left on like setting up stuff, and Donald Faison came on as Booster Gold. And it was like, here's what's next. And now we'll never get that, which means for anyone who ever watches this show on Netflix or eventually on HBO Max when the rights revert, they won't get an ending. So that's just always lame.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say about Legends is that it is already built into the way the show works, that like things are always changing, people are coming and going, and sometimes you get closure and sometimes you don't. Like that's literally part of like the part of the foundation of the show. And the idea that you can be on another show that is also owned by them or ran by them, that is part of, because Constantine was not like a part of the Arrowverse, but he wound up getting folded into Legends, and so there's a chance that like, if nothing else, we can at least like off screen have some resolution what will happen with some of those characters, and maybe Donald Faison can come back as Booster Gold in something else. Like it's totally a possibility. But it does suck because that wound up being one of my favorites, because honestly, a lot of them, even though I love them so much, it does wind up being very like lore heavy, which is why you like comic books. But sometimes it's nice to just plug in and be like, oh, this pack of dipshits is going to go back to the 1960s and go to camp. Dope. Let's find out what happens. Oh, hey, it's a giant Tickle Me Elmo, but he's blue. Let's do this. You know, like it's just so like wacky and out of there that it was.
Gorilla Grodd's trying to kill Barack Obama. Let's do it.
Gorilla Grodd's trying to kill Barack Obama. These are all things that actually happen.
He said, "Make America Grodd again, guys." It was amazing.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, these are all things that happen. It's one of the reasons I enjoy the show.
That is a bummer to lose that kind of playground without a send off. But I do like your idea of maybe one of the other CW shows kind of tying a bow on it, if they can work that into the Flash, or which ones are still going.
Only the Flash, and that's the thing, is Flash and Superman and Lois, but Superman and Lois has, while technically part of the Arrowverse, barely acknowledges it, and it looks different. It's shot very cinematically. They've done minimal crossovers. So it almost feels like they're taking a step away. I wonder, the Flash is going into season 9. It's got to be the final season, you got to assume. They haven't announced it is. But I wonder if they could turn the Flash season 9, which has also lost most of its original cast, into a farewell to the Arrowverse season, and have the Legends show up, and have Batwoman show up, and because even this past season, Black Lightning guest starred, and characters from canceled shows guest starred. So I feel like maybe they can turn the Flash season 9 into like, let's put, because I do think the Arrowverse it had huge ups and downs, but it was a lot of stuff and a lot of cool stuff at one point. So I hope that they get to do maybe, bring it home in the Flash.
And I think that that's possible, because you talk about crossovers, and that's a thing that they're known for. And even characters would joke about like, oh, we're not in the crossover this year. You could do that. You could spend a bunch of time taking care of the Arrowverse, and then like or taking care of the Flashverse, which at this point there's a lot going on, and then dedicate 5 episodes to tying a bow on all of this Berlanti stuff, this version of the Berlanti stuff.
That'd be cool. What I see happening is something similar to the Netflix Marvel shows, where they all get axed kind of semi-brutally. They start putting all the DC TV projects on HBO Max. And then after like 3 years, people are still asking for like, hey, we liked some of those people. What happened? And then they start like begrudgingly inserting them into like Peacemaker season 4 or something like that. They'll totally go full circle on this, is my prediction.
Or it's like I think you're right, one way or the other, because they've acknowledged the multiverse already. And I mean, again, giving credit where credit's due, Arrowverse did the Crisis crossover, huge multiverse story that involved like, Ezra Miller showing up as the Flash and all these connections. They could, a few years from now, when nostalgia hits and when Arrow is celebrating its 10th or 15th anniversary, they could be like, here's a new show set in that universe with some actors, some you don't, and then tie it all together.
They're all going to be in that Gotham PD show with Colin Farrell's Penguin.
The procedural? The really dark, rainy
episode figuring out what happened to each of the Berlantiverse characters.
I just want an
finale.
Episode, Oh no, I'm just saying I want an episode of Gotham PD where they're just trying to explain to us how they get all the rights to all of the 90s grunge. Like that's the episode that I want. Where it's just
I don't think it's that expensive anymore. Maybe. But I think the finale of that series is the bomb diffuser is at the top of a salmon ladder, and it's like, oh, that's Oliver's music, and then he pops in there, gets all the way up, saves the day. Make it happen, people. All right, We got some fun questions, so let's run through a few of these before we say goodbye, and then all move into our new studio. Sweet Rain Jewel, did I miss the Worship of the Awesomeness that is the new Honest theme song of the Batman? Yes. Well, or no, because we haven't talked about it. We did kind of stealthily release a new kind of format that we think would be fun of Honest theme songs, because we like to do music around here. We have music in our hearts, and not every Honest trailer would make sense if we dropped a song in the middle of it, but sometimes you just want to sing a song about Batman. So check that out on Screen Junkies, then come back here. And yes, we are still doing the Honest trailer for the Batman. That will be out tomorrow. Don't worry.
Felt some worrying comment, but
Gave it away.
All right. LC Deals writes, what 4 YouTubers would you cast in Fantastic Four? And Ryan's pick is all Dan's. Dan Merle doing every part Norbit style.
I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I literally don't feel good about naming any YouTuber without with 24 hours notice for people to see this, because I don't know what's going to happen. So
that's true. They all get milkshake ducked as soon as you mention their name.
Yeah, I don't watch enough YouTubers, but I do watch a lot of Toy Galaxy with Dan Larson, who is a Dan A, and B once had a custom Mr. Fantastic figure with his head on it. So there you go. It filters right in.
Just look through some people I subscribe to that would be good. This guy, Michael Reeves, is an inventor. He's definitely my Mr. Fantastic. He has here's some of his videos. Is the Roomba that screams when it bumps into stuff. And I
want to read that book.
I built a surgery robot. So, he's definitely Mr. Fantastic for me.
Oh. I guess the thing we could make it a woman the thing, and it's just Dr. Pimple Popper, like constantly.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Dr. Doom, probably. Prepare to have your pimple popped.
Yeah. Who else is? Oh yeah, the Johnny, what's his face? Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
He's too big, but I actually do feel like one of the Paul brothers could. I mean, like. I don't want.
Yeah, he is obnoxious.
They kind of have the Johnny Storm vibe, whereas like whoever does play Johnny Storm, if they do an impression of little Paul brother, I actually feel like that could work really well.
Yeah. Sue Storm is How To Basic. I don't know if you guys watch How To Basic.
Nope. Okay. Nope.
But there you go.
Without props, or no, because then you just see all the stuff move and you don't see hands, and that's worse somehow. Somehow worse.
Yeah, and then Mr. Fantastic is Ryan from Pitch Meetings. We just solved it.
There you go. Done. Singular Rookheart asks, is multiverse shenanigans the explanation for why the Fast franchise is about DVD player theft and space travel? Yes, I think that there was a multiverse split at some point with the Fast, and they go see what would have happened if they never left LA and became international crime fighters.
I just think that's evolution, baby. One day you're stealing DVD players, the next you're going to space. It's just it's a wacky ride we're all on, and these guys represent that.
And then we'll end on this. Green Star asks, are we ever going to do an Honest trailer for Cowboy Bebop live action? Seems like there's a lot to say there. P.S. I liked it. Simon Smith, Sue Storm should be Jenny Nicholson. I like that. That's good. That's really good. Cowboy Bebop, yeah, we all liked it, but at the same time knew it wasn't very good, but also liked it anyways. At least that was my take on it. So I didn't really feel like what I thought I knew was kind of at odds with what a mainstream audience or a broader audience thought. Because like I liked it, even though I also obviously the animated series is way better. That said, it was still fun. I don't know. What do you think, Danielle?
Would have gotten a season 2, we probably would have done it, but it was one of those things where it shows up on Netflix and we hang out and watch it for a weekend and then no one talks about it.
That's also true. Yeah. Like I haven't thought about that since the week after it came out, and that's just the nature of Netflix. Maybe if they strung it out a little more, it'd stick in my memory a little bit longer. But oh well, there you go. It's good, and you should enjoy it. Too bad it'll never see a season 2, like most Netflix things. All right, this has been fun. Again, I don't know. This is gonna be weird to see people, but we'll try it. We'll give it a shot tomorrow.
Have fun, guys. I want to hear reports.
How am I going to do a show how am I going to do a show without a cat scratching at my leg? I don't even know what that looks like anymore.
We have one of those. We have one of those on hand, ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, make us feel at home. But thanks for sticking with us through the whole panty. We'll ease our way back in. We're not doing everything. I'm not driving to work every day, but we'll see. We'll see you there tomorrow. And thanks so much for watching SJU. Bye-bye.